Today is January 13th, 2023. This is episode 212 of Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Gladys and Shitter. And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me as always is Quinton.
Hi.
For those of you who've never listened to Maelstrom Radio before, we're a Final Fantasy 14 podcast hosted by two long time good friends who play a myriad of video games, mostly MMOs. That's what we like. We like MMOs.
And not lately Final Fantasy.
Not lately Final Fantasy. Although
6.3.
Yeah.
No spoilers this cast.
But, no spoiler casts. You can listen. That means you can listen. Because what we're talking about is that's Final Fantasy. We're back. We're back. Which means we're gonna talk about 2022. Talk about 2023, where we've been, where we're going.
I mean, we've only been around for like 13 days in 2023. We haven't been around so much.
We're gonna find the new Maelstrom Radio motto. Maybe not this episode. For the new year, Maelstrom Radio 2023's new motto: live, laugh, love. Just tried it on for this today.
Nope.
Hang in there. The picture of a kitten hanging off a bridge.
We're gonna workshop this.
All right. I still think it's not too late to try, or whatever I put in there is pretty good.
It's never too late.
It's never too late to try.
I like the other one you put in more.
Oh, the one
Get
about
hooked on the seriousness,
not the absurdity.
I put in a few for.
Oh man, it's gonna be good times.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good times.
Suggestions.
Yeah.
Then Spirobot's channel's gonna pop off again.
Yeah. I do like make money off of the jokes.
That was a good one.
Oh,
These have not been posted publicly to our the public channels. This is all internal, so
yeah. So which means none of these might, or it will. You won't know until we tell you. So
that's true. Although the really bad ones do tend to get put into the Spirobot channel. So
yeah. Do you? I feel like last year Maelstrom Radio is fun vibes was true. I think we hit it. I think we did. We had fun vibes last year. We had Jesse Cox on the show. We did.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had fun.
I can't speak for our guests, but
yeah, we enjoyed our time. We had fun.
We had fun vibes.
Yeah, we can't speak for anyone else who was on the show.
No.
Although, I think we did some cool things. We spoke to Fisher Fruity. We learned about fishing. We learned about subs and not the sandwich.
The submarines.
Yeah, submarines. Again, not the sandwich.
Saying not the sandwich is not specific enough.
The Final Fantasy 14 subs, not the.
Mm-hmm. Again, not specific enough.
Well. I can't say grinders. well. I mean, that is a sandwich type. It's also an app. I'm surprised that no one decided to make Grindr for ordering sandwiches. There's like a Midwestern dad out there that's like, I heard about the Grindr app. They're like in a hoagie. No, Dad, no.
I mean, you're effectively talking about like DoorDash.
Yeah.
Got all the pictures there. You just swipe to the one you want. You click it and you buy it.
I think they both work the same way.
Yeah, but I'm sure people are. Yeah, I'm not sure if people are actually happier with one or the other.
Yep. Oh well, one charges more money for sure. Anyway, let's not talk about food, I guess. Too much meat. That's right. Here we go. Maelstrom Radio's motto for 2023 is too much meat. Not. This was the very first episode out the gate. Very meat forward. So yesterday during our stream, how do we want to do this? I feel like this is not. It's not that it's not structured. It's just pure chaos. But anyway, I think
if we go to structure, like, what have you been up to in the month since we've done a podcast?
Well, okay. So while you were gone, Susan and I have been playing Minecraft. That might continue. Yep. It's fun. I like Minecraft. It's
not on Sundays.
It's not going to be on Sundays. It might be on Backlogged, which is now on Tuesdays. So, TBD. Currently on Tuesdays. Might be back to Mondays. Just feeling it out. I like Minecraft. Like I forget like how much I actually enjoy Minecraft. It is a game that anybody can pop on and pop off. Like the world does not get harder or like more difficult or less difficult the more people you have on. It's the same difficulty. Once you have armor, like iron armor and an iron shield, the game's dirt easy. Like nothing can really hurt you too much. I did turn off
gold, which somehow is better.
Gold isn't. Like they actually changed that around. Gold is soft. So like, gold.
Oh, they actually.
Yeah. Gold is a soft metal. Yeah, you can't. Like it's. You can make gold armor. And gold,
yellow.
But diamond is really where it's at. So you want diamond armor.
Yeah, you get the shiny blue.
Gold is useful though. Like they still find ways to make gold useful. Like gold.
Oh yeah, you still need it for stuff.
The
magic.
Magic. The potion that cures the villagers from zombie infection. So so there are uses for it. But yeah, so far I know we have a farm, and I mean the server, I got a deal on the server. It was a Black Friday deal, so like for the life of the server, it's only $10 a month and it can house 100. It technically can house 120 people. I wouldn't put 120 people on the server, but it's it's nice. It's nice that like the server's pretty cool. Like the area I landed, I found a panda, so I'm excited about that.
Have you made sheep yet?
Have we made sheep yet? No, we
need to get like one of the dye farm.
We know where the sheep are, so and there's plenty of multicolored sheep in that area.
Yeah, you need to make a sheep farm. Then you have all the color sheep.
Rainbow sheeps for sure.
Rainbow sheeps.
Yep. Let's see. I played. I'm trying to think of everything I actually played. Susan and I played Fortnite, which was hilarious. It went about as good as expected to go. Like Susan's not good at shooting games and gets really nervous. But it was fun. Like it was actually really fun to play Fortnite with Susan because it like for me, I'm pretty okay at Fortnite. I'm not gonna say I'm the best Fortnite player, but I've won. I've gotten the golden crown. I've been the boy before. So playing duos with Susan was hilarious. And other than that, my computer's got new fans in it now. That happened over.
That was a whole ordeal.
It was, but oddly enough, guess what? My computer now runs cooler.
Imagine that, new fans.
Not even that, new AIO as well. Also running, cooling it way below than what it was. About 20 degrees cooler than what it was. So better AIO.
That could just be reseating.
That too. Although it was seated correctly on the last one, like I checked it twice.
I just mean like how long since you applied thermal paste and redid all of that? That usually drops it a bit.
Well, the last
thermal paste.
The thermal paste I used last time was a liquid metal thermal paste.
So
which
is good.
Yeah. This time because I had oddly enough when I ordered the parts, I had actually ordered an extra AIO because the one I wanted that was originally in there was like, oh no, I couldn't find it. But then it magically popped up, and I was like, well, I won't return this just in case. Like, and then look at me, I needed it. I actually needed it, and it worked better than the old AIO I had. So I have all new fans. They're not name brand fans. They are like a Chinese brand fan, but they were like a sleeper sort of fan. Like people were like shocked by the quality of the fan. The plastic it's very well made. It's PC
Plastic.
cooler. Yeah, but it's not as flimsy. Like it's very like Susan's in chat. It is. It's like a very like it the skeleton like holding they're weighty. Like they were super weighty. And the cooling on it is phenomenal. Like just the way how it cools and like the strength it cools is really good. Not to bore people on like PC parts, but like super impressed with the fans. The fact that I got 10 fans at a discount, and I think I had like a gift card from work, so like I ended up only paying $80 for 10 fans. So not bad.
It's a lot of fans.
It is a lot of fans, but I do have a Liam Lee case. So
I don't think I have 10 fans in my whole computer.
But man, my computer was very quiet and very cool. So I'm not complaining. It's doing its job. So also it has less RGB now. Like the RGB on it's very nice, but it's also very it's only like a thin band around the outside edge of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less bright than it was before.
Yeah, none of my fans have RGB.
So
I am not a fan of the RGBs.
So, but I do like it. Like the rest of my stuff is it's a well now lit computer, so it runs slower. No, it runs.
Just because I don't have RGB doesn't mean that my computers run slow.
Yeah. And Chili's correct. I also played Final Fantasy 11. Talk about I want to dive into that more. So I'll say I played it, and then I'll talk to you more, and then I'll tell you like things I found interesting in Final Fantasy 11. I guess I could do that now, but I can do that later as well. So I'm gonna do that later. But like over my break, yes, I played Final Fantasy 11. Had a delightful time. Shocking, like how that is. It is a very chill game. Like it is the chillest MMO ever because it is a turn-based MMO. I can't explain it. It's not active in any sort of way. It's not like EverQuest 1. You do have menus. You have to select your thing. So you're just waiting on your turn. The combat locks you in. Like you get locked into combat. So it's not like EverQuest where you're like, oh, I can run from the monster and flee.
Right.
No, you're literally locked into that fight. Now, other things can come up and punch you, but you are locked into that fight. You can disengage and then run away from that fight. But yeah, it's very chill, very, very chill, and no hand holding. But that's expected with a game that's old as it is. So, other than that, spend Christmas here. I know we said it in our Discord. Susan and I ended up getting the Roni over the break, but it wasn't bad because we not only got our 5G, we got boosted twice in our 5G. So and it ended up being not terrible because of that. Like it could have been worse, but the fact that we got a second round of boosters last September,
somewhere around there.
So like it was like, all right, oh, we're sick for a few days. That was it. Like it never got worse than like I think a day of headache, some like sinus clogging, and then some sinus clogging and chest clogging a little, like and light. Like it wasn't that bad. Like it was like a couple days, and then now I just have like I cough in the middle of the night at a random time, like 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm like that's it. And that's pretty much my break. Like it was laid back. I had time off.
You did the plans for the plan list too, right?
I did plans for the plan list. It was a laid back plans for the planless. Just and I didn't, because of COVID, I didn't go the whole full gamut of like, let me go through all of them. I did East Coast, and then I promptly said, Merry New Year, then went to bed. So,
Fair, fair.
it is what it is. Like, I was feeling fine, but even Susan didn't make it to the plans of the plan list. Like, Susan slept. Um, so, but all in all, I mean, I had a 2-week vacation before I started my new position at work. So, I think that I survived my first week at my new position. So,
That's good.
yeah, so pretty good. I now run people. I'm a people manager. That's I manage people.
Yeah,
Uh,
people.
yeah. So, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. But you went back home.
Yeah, I did a little bit of traveling. Quick before while we go into this, our chat seems to be a little bit off.
Oh, that's, well, Chili's correct. He did guess wrestlers.
No, I mean like on stream chat is
Oh,
off.
it is off. Oh boy.
It's a
Well,
little it fell down.
it's fine. It's a little, listen, 2023, year of the offset chat. All right. I
But
think
yes, while you fix that, I traveled back to Canada, got to see a lot of friends and family that I hadn't in over 3 years. It was a really good trip. Really enjoyed it. Really happy I got to meet a lot of people, see a lot of people. I actually got to go and hang out with community member Cass for a little while. They're awesome. Also got to meet Zara. Zara is great. Zara is a lot smaller than you would expect.
Zara's a cat, by the way. Just in
Zara's a
case.
cat. Zara's about this big. Zara is tiny
Oh my, really? Oh
and
my gosh, it's
adorable.
so
Oh
tiny.
yeah, Zara is tiny. Small cat. Um, but yeah, and that's most of my December was basically in back in Ontario and traveling back and forth between different places, visiting different people, seeing what's happening. And then I finally got back last week and just been catching up on things. In terms of what I've been gaming on, mostly Guild Wars 2 last month. I did play it a little bit while I was on vacation. Um, oh, excuse me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Been enjoying that a lot. So I am starting into Icebrood Saga, which is the final content patches, the Living World story before End of Dragons, which is the current final expansion, or the latest expansion, I should say. And I think they're looking at getting some more content coming up soon. But for now, all of Living World Season 1 has been re released. So we have everything up to everything's available to play now, which is kind of neat. I haven't finished Season 1 or Living World Season 1 yet. Uh, but I am also currently working on locking my dragon, which
Mhm.
is a very, very long process with lots of time gates.
Oh,
So,
that's fun.
oh yeah, yeah. There is 6 steps, and each step is quite long.
Six
And there's 2
steps.
hours between each step.
A lot of steps.
Well, the first step that I had to do 2 full collections.
Mm-hmm.
2? 3 full collections. Maybe even a little bit more. At least 3 full collections. And then I wait 2 hours, and now I'm on the second step, which is complete 12 full collections. Each of the collections are like 4 items. So, yes, this is a process to unlock a dragon mount, which is the only mount that can kind of fly. Flying's a little bit different in Guild Wars 2. You have only so much energy. Like, you can fly indefinitely kind of straight and down, but if you want to go up, it uses energy, and you only have so much energy, stamina. So, but yeah, it's kind of neat. I have a few other mounts. I got a roller beetle. It's a giant beetle. It goes fast. It zooms across the map. I have a springer, which is, well, I have it currently, yeah, glamored as a bird. It is a giant plush bird, and it jumps high. I have a raptor, which is glamored as a plush raptor. Uh, and it also it just jumps forward. Oh, I have a jackal. It's kind of like a cat thingy. It
Jackal.
teleports.
It's a jackal.
Oh,
Jackal.
it's a jackal.
Jackal.
What is this thing?
It's a jackal.
These mounts have been around for quite a while, for at least a year or two, I think. Because yeah, definitely a lot of, because they were back in Living World season 4. The Griffin too, which I do not have. It's another semi-flying mount. Um, I think it's more of a gliding mount. Like if it starts off high, it can go really, really fast, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really climb. I don't have that one either, because that's a very expensive mount to get. I do not have the, I think, 250 gold required for it.
I'm sorry.
Yep, yep. I will eventually get it, but I'm gonna get the dragon first, which is just very long, and I think only 35 gold in total. So
Okay, just a drawn out process to get it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm also working on a legendary weapon, which are like the best weapons in the game. They're equivalent to an ascended weapon in stats, but they let you change the prefix, so you can change the stats on them whenever you want. And
Hmm.
ascended weapons have only a single set of stats on them, although you can change it as well. Um, Both are account bound, so you can transfer them between characters, so you don't have to gear up all of your characters. You can just gear up one, which is very nice. Um, but so far, I've probably spent close to 400 gold on that. And I still have another like 2,000 to spend, or 1,000 to spend before I can get it.
Right on. And for those that
It's
aren't
expensive.
aware, Guild Wars 2 is more horizontal based than vertical based with
It
it.
is very horizontal. I've had the second best gear on my character for a few months now. Like within weeks of playing, I had the second best set of gear for that character. It's very horizontal. I'm enjoying the story. A lot of people bring up with the story with Guild Wars 2, that it gets better later on. And now getting into the later or the later story bits, I agree with that. I understand what they mean now. And for those playing Final Fantasy, I would say it's probably similar to how we might have felt in Shadowbringers or Endwalker. Yes, the story in Final Fantasy was all right. It was pretty good. Um, Even I've heard 1.0 story was all right. But Shadowbringers and Endwalker were just that much better than the previous. And in that sense, I think that while the initial story, like the core story, even Heart of Thorns, um, were all right storylines. They had issues, but they were all right storylines. Once you get into season 4, Icebird Saga, and presumably End of Dragons, I haven't got there yet. The story just ramps up another notch, and it just gets much more interesting. The
Mhm.
fights are a lot more interesting. The stuff that goes on is a lot more interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's much better. I really enjoyed Living World Season 4, which I just completed a couple weeks ago. Working on Icebrood Saga now, and I know people that say that that is their favorite set of content in the whole game. So it's yeah, it's pretty good. And each of these, I have not encountered Rook's NPC. I believe Rook's NPC is part of End of Dragons, which I haven't gotten to yet. Um, but so if coming from Final Fantasy, like expansions are expansions, that's pretty summarized. They have Living World story or Living World seasons, or like
Mhm.
Icebrood Saga is also one of these things. Um, this is kind of like your point patch content. So they would have World season 1 and 2, which came out between the base game and the first expansion, and each of those has like 5 or 6, or like 4 to 8, 6. I don't know, 5 or 6. Around 5 is about average, I think. 5 to 8. Anyways, episodes within it, and each episode would be kind of like a content patch for us in Final Fantasy 14. Except their content patch in this scenario is basically one entire new zone and a quest line that goes around that zone. It's a good few hours of content, and then on top of that, they have, of course, all the dynamic events, achievements, etc., that you can get around it. So it's actually a pretty good amount of content that they have available now, and it sounds like their team is getting better staffed and getting on a better content release schedule. So I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with this year, and hopefully that I can catch up. Because yeah, I recently got to deal with Sky Pirate Lady.
Ooh, I like that. Also, I see. I went to the website. I see that they're celebrating the Lunar New Year.
It is Lunar New Year right now. Yes.
And one of the things they have is Dragon Ball Arena. And I read it. I was like, I don't know if Goku's there, but Dragon Ball is. So.
I actually haven't played that one. I've done, I think, every other event in Lunar New Year except for the Dragon Ball event. Not that there's a whole lot of events with it, but this happens to be a very event-heavy time of the year. You have the Halloween event that happens all throughout October. You have the like the Winter's Day celebration throughout all of December, right into you get like a week or two break, and then you get right into the Lunar New Year in January. I'm not sure if they do anything in February, but the next major one that I'm aware of, at least, is the April Fool's Day, which is a really good. I really enjoy that one. Yeah, so we'll get a little bit of a break in a bit.
Chilly. Guess I'm playing Guild Wars if Goku's there. I don't think Goku's actually there.
I don't think Goku's there, no. You also can't get a yellow cloud to zoom around on, so.
No. I don't think you can get an extendable bow staff. So.
You can get stabs. Could not tell you if any of them are extendable, though.
Yeah, you
I don't
can
use stabs.
for Lunar New Year for the rabbit. You can get rabbit donned gear.
Oh, the Donnie Darko?
Yeah.
You can get a Frank outfit.
Can you? That's terrifying.
Does it not show it on there?
It does. I thought that. Well, the gold mask kind of looks more like the splicers from what's it called? Why can't I think of the name of the game? Oh my god, BioShock.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, such a good.
But I'm pretty sure if you dyed that, you could definitely get a Frank look.
Oh yeah, for sure, or a splicer look. Honestly, if you dyed that mask white, you can be a splicer.
Fair.
What a good game. Anyway, everyone go play BioShock.
It's free to play.
Also, you can go play Guild Wars. Yeah, it's free. The whole first, probably just as good as the Final Fantasy trial.
I would say it's better because it's not a trial.
Yeah, because it's just the whole first.
You get the entire base game. You don't get the expansions, but you get the base game
for free
with all classes, full level 80, full gear, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for free. So
for free.
Pretty good. And there's no restrictions on it either. I think you can still join a guild and do whatever. Yeah.
There are restrictions in some things.
Is there?
Yes, I believe if you haven't spent any money on it. So if you haven't bought an expansion, there are a few restrictions.
Oh.
I think they're more around like spam things, like you can't send stuff to certain people or things like that. Nothing that I've heard is a major inconvenience. The downside of things like you won't be able to have a mount because you need an expansion for a mount. You get a temporary mount, but it only lasts for 10 hours.
That's true. I thought they give you a. I thought they were giving everybody that hit level 10 amount now.
If you have an expansion.
Oh.
If you don't have an expansion, it's a rental. You get it for 10 hours.
Okay.
If you have an expansion, it's permanent. But it is just that raptor, the first raptor you get, which is really weird when you finally get it in the story because they're like, "Hey, here's a raptor."
I got a raptor.
We already got one. Don't need another one.
Here's another raptor. I don't know.
But I was really excited when I finally got to the story. It's like I can get more mounts than the raptor. Now I can jump high and teleport through sand portals. And I have a manta that surfs on water.
Sand portal.
There's sand portals throughout the area, and I can now teleport into them.
That's Stargate. You're just talking Stargate. It's just Stargate.
No, that's the Asura portals.
Oh.
Sand portals are like, I don't know, just random things you can walk into.
SG1.
You've seen the Asura gates. They're the big ones that
mm,
look like an SG1 gate.
you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Boy, this podcast has got all over the place.
Mhm.
uh, all right. Well, that's what we've been doing. uh, and you're probably like, well, what are you gonna do this year? Well, some things are changing.
For
Backlog,
instance.
backlog is currently on Tuesdays. For the
Yep.
time being, filling it out. It might go back to Mondays. But for now, Tuesdays and Thursdays still the same. Friday show. Sunday.
Still bi-monthly.
Yep. Sunday. Sort of.
Sundays are changing up a little bit. We
Yeah.
haven't announced anything. We're still going to be doing some stuff this Sunday, the 15th. I have a new monitor, as some people heard last year before I left. It's bigger than my last one, and
Yeah.
therefore my screen no longer fits
Yeah.
on my old layout. So we're doing a bit of a change up for Sunday streams. Content is still going to be fairly similar, so it's still going to be chill. We're still going to have lovely drinks in the morning
Mhm.
and just kind of relax and hang out. But we're going to start expanding a little bit past Stardew as we're wrapping up our, I believe, third year in Stardew at this point, in-game year. We've been playing it as a group for almost a year together now. So it's time for us to kind of pack that up for a little bit or put that on the back burner and try out some other stuff. And the main focus for this is still going to be community, which has always been the focus for those streams, is just hanging out and chatting with people. So our goal is to try to find games where we can bring in people and play with other people if they would like. So if you have any suggestions, we are open to hearing them. We have some ideas for to start off with, so we'll probably stick with some of those. But like Minecraft, possibly a thing that could come in there.
We have a server.
Probably, no, probably not if I'm running it, but we'll see how it
The
goes.
server is available though. The server.
Yes.
It's not open to anybody yet, but it is available.
So yes, Sunday streams will still be back, but they are going to be in a slightly different format going forward. So, and we'll have to see what happens with Thursday streams. We haven't really nailed down what's next for the co-op streams. So we have a big list.
Yeah. I mean, last we left off, we were playing Grim Dawn, which we liked.
Yep, it was good.
And so I mean but it's a long game. Like there's a lot to that game. So I don't even know where we're at.
We haven't finished Act 1 even. I think there's like 5 of them, isn't there?
Oh boy. Act 40.
Or maybe we did Act 1. I think maybe we did do Act 1.
Did we do Act 1? Oh no, we opened the city, so that was Act 1. The
I think
first
that was
main
Act
town,
1.
and then so now we're up in the other area. So
there's still a long way to go. We're only in our 30s?
Yeah.
Did we get to 30?
Yeah. So,
and I think there's like 80 levels or 100 levels. Or
yeah, and there's like 2 expansions. I mean, there's a lot of game there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So I mean, there's that. There's a bunch of other stuff.
There's Path of Exile, which is even longer.
Yeah, and Path of Exile 2 is coming out, which honestly, from what I hear, we should just start with that. So
yeah, at this point, yeah.
There's also some things I've learned. Shout out to by the way, shout out to friend of the show, Professor Hoots. Rated him one night, and boy, I found out something very interesting. There is a mod for Elden Ring called the I think it's called the Open Multiplayer mod. It does the 3 things that we wanted Dark Souls to do for us. 1,
not have to re-kill things again.
Check.
Yep, that was the main thing that we had.
Check. Gray walls. So having to drop signs. Nope, not needed.
Okay.
Seamless multiplayer.
What does that one mean?
So you know how we had the dropping of the signs, the seamless multiplayer means that
Oh, we just had to like get kicked out and come back and
yeah,
kicked
we
out
don't
and
have
come back.
we don't do that anymore. It's
Yeah,
just
maybe we'll have to
so
try it. Although I might have to get some more mods because actually, well, let's wait a few months on that one.
yeah. So
I'm not sure how my system would handle Elden Ring right now.
so all we would have to talk to step bro Grumpo and see. No, randos cannot bust into your game as well. That because the way that mod works is that it takes you offline from the servers for Elden Ring, so you can then go online do this. So so it's a discussion to have. See if step bro Grumpro would like to take us through the world of Elden Blumbos. This is probably
No, it's the Elblumbos now.
Elden. Oh my god! Yes, finally. Oh my god. Hispanic Blumbos? El Blumbo.
This is gonna go downhill really fast.
Pedro El Blumbo.
I don't think my system would handle Elden Ring nicely.
Yeah.
It could play it. I mean, 1080 Ti is still a pretty strong card, but let's wait a little bit on that.
Yeah, let's wait till you get an upgrade. Yeah, I agree.
But the other things that we've talked about too, we still have the other Rusty Lake, the new one. It's co-op.
Yep.
And then I mean, there's a number of co-op games we've talked about. But
I can't remember. Did we finish? Was there only one Rusty Lake thing left to do? Was it just the room?
No, I think we finished that one. We only have. Oh, did we? I thought we did finish the room because we finished it on a Saturday in November.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we finished all of the Rusty Lake series. All we had left was the co-op game.
Okay. Good to know. I thought we didn't, but maybe we did.
Oh no, wait, there was the one that you wanted me to stream.
That's the
that one I haven't done. We haven't done.
That's the I'll double check the name of it. But anyway, yeah, it's a Rusty Lake game. It's free, but it's short. That's the good thing about it. It's like there's no extra BS. It's very much a like play this and you'll
Samsara Room. Yes,
yeah,
thank you,
Samsara
Susan.
Room. Thank you.
I know one that we've talked about too, but it would take us a few months to do, depending on how we want to schedule it. Was Divinity?
Oh yeah. Well, if we just wait, Baldur's Gate is coming out later.
I thought that was in like August or something.
It is August, but how long would Divinity take us to do?
Well, if it's 50, 60 hours based on our previous thing, it'd go till August.
Oh boy. So that's.
But if we wanted to try it, we could always try doing it like a different scheduling thing, like scheduling more than 3 hours a week.
It's true.
3 hours, 2 hours a week is what we did the other one on. But depending on how we want to do that too, because we basically have time from now, through probably March or April to figure out something to play. Because that's likely going to be the closest. I'm guessing mid-March is probably the earliest that I'd have my computer built.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of time before we can deal with Elden Ring at all. And then once we have Elden Ring, we could do that for a few months before Baldur's Gate comes out.
Yeah. And then Baldur's Gate's just, D&D.
Maybe we can try and get Susan in with Baldur's Gate.
Oh my god, can't wait. Cannot wait. Oh my god. I just the fact that it can happen.
Susan's like, what?
I just like the idea of that. As far as I remember, I think they're adding a bard class to Baldur's Gate. So
hasn't there always been a bard class? I mean, it's straight up D&D.
I know that's what's so great about it. And
Forgotten Realms, like
it is Forgotten Realms. Also, not to say that Wizards of the Coast is in good light right now, but
oh no, they are backtracking hard. Did you see the PR release today?
I did not see the PR release today, but
it's not They basically
Did they take the foot out of their mouth?
no, they put it in further.
Oh, okay, good.
So they did backtrack on a lot of the stuff that they were saying, but part of the thing that they said on it was a lot of people will say that we lost. They would be only half right. We think that they won. They would only be half right because we also feel like we have won. Like, this is the worst. This is not good.
That's not an apology. That's like,
Oh no, they didn't apologize. They're just,
oh, they didn't even apologize.
Backtracked no, because they're just like, yeah, this is just a draft. We're gonna go back. Thank you for the feedback. Like, this did not do anything.
And not for anyone that doesn't know, Hasbro lost a lot of money last year, and Hasbro is looking at the one thing that makes them a lot of money, which is D&D currently, to make money. And they looked at their, hey, you have this open game license, and we don't like it. So, also to let you know, Paizo was like, they released their open game license and was very, very generous with it. They're like, yeah, just use it for whatever. We don't care. Here you go. Like, everybody like Paizo.
And it wasn't just them. It's not just them.
No, it's not just
them. There was some other really big names on that too.
So
I can't remember what it was, but there's one that starts with a C that runs all of the Call of Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah. I know you're. Yeah. Just look it up really quick.
Yeah. It was in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes. Yeah, lots of stuff going on the D&D. But I don't think that would affect Baldur's Gate anyway, because Baldur's Gate is like from Wizards of the Coast, I believe.
Is it cyanide? No, Cassium.
Chaosium?
Chaosium. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do call it.
Yeah, I think Susan would like
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of shenanigans going on with Baldur's Gate. I think that could
it's anything like the other ones.
Well,
I mean, like story-wise.
Well, story-wise, I think that the fact that the people that did Divinity are doing it, probably not. But it is in the world of Baldur's Gate. So, although there is a scene where a bard is serenading a badger. So, Susan.
I'm playing the bard. Susan playing the druid?
Sure. I'll just do what I do best. I'll just play a war cleric and
You'll be happy as long as you can be a dwarf.
It's so fun being a dwarf, though. If I can get a dwarven thrower, oh my god, life is so good.
I mean, if we can get like a Goliath class, then you can be a throne dwarf.
I don't want to do that.
I shall research this.
Yeah. All right.
Halfling for the win.
Yeah.
Halfling's just a dwarf that didn't know better, but
it also is turn-based combat using the 5e rule sets.
I mean, it makes combat a little bit simpler. And
aka not like Magic.
No.
I died.
Although there is Magicka 2 that we haven't played yet.
Which the internet on that one works. So I've read on the forums.
I actually tried to introduce my parents to that over the holiday, and because I was expecting that it was Magicka 1, the one that we played, available. They have a PlayStation 4, but unfortunately, Magicka 1's not available. It was only Magicka 2, and it was a lot harder to introduce them to Magicka 2, not having any experience with Magicka 1.
I can see that.
But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not sure if Susan would be interested in the gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3 because it is very D&D, but it might be entertaining from like a story perspective because it is very tongue-in-cheek, or it used to be, and I would expect that it still has that.
I mean,
DNA.
and the funny thing is that they're also allowing like world objects to be like object physics. So like if Susan's above us and there's a box, Susan can push the box on the enemy from above. So like they're doing some cool things with the concept of like, oh hey, if I cut this rope, the chandelier will fall. So
we're gonna try the dimension door trick, right?
Sure.
Dimension door 500 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drop something through it.
We could still do that now. We used the dimension door? Did Paul use that yet?
We did use the dimension door because we had to do that in order to save Chili from the god being that we trapped. That we had no right to actually defeat, but we did damn good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Chili.
That was our best play.
Chili went through the door.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Grapple to God. That's
I grappled to God.
But,
yes.
Yeah.
We it was a 4v1 God. So, last year we finished Frog Detective, and sadly there's no more Frog, and there will be no more Frog Detectives unless magically they decide to make a Frog Detective 4, which I don't think is going to happen. So, sadly, no Frog Detective 4. So yeah, just waiting on some games to come out. Our multiplayer list is long. I have a feeling that Terraria 2 will be announced this year. I have a feeling that's gonna happen.
I'm less excited for that. I just want to see Haunted Chocolatier come out.
Of course. We will be on the lookout for the Grace Bruxner project. I agree. Well, I wonder what Grace Bruxner's gonna do. I feel like Grace Bruxner only wants to make games when she's in the mood to make games. Does that make sense? Like,
valid.
Like, I feel like Frog Detective 3 took many a year to come out. Chili wants the Minecraft RTS. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I want to see how the gameplay looks when Microsoft does their big showing off the games thing in a few weeks. So, I think that's it. I think Susan and I talked about. Yeah, we talked about Susan and I on the last the Christmas podcast. We talked about Microsoft and all the legal money they're throwing at the FTC. So still a waiting game. So far, CMA? No, that's the Country Music Awards. C. C. It starts with a C. Could be CMA.
What is it?
It's the one. It's the one over in UK. The one over in the EU.
That does what?
Not the. Yeah, what is it? What are they? I'm gonna look them up now. Well, the Country Music Awards are.
Yes, that is the CMA.
C. Microsoft. Yeah, CMA. Oh my god, it is CMA. I was right.
All right then.
Oh yeah, look at that. CMA is the UK marketing agency. Yeah, that's them. Look at me. I got brains. I remember things. It's also the Country Music Awards. So, from a perspective of somebody that doesn't know that the CMA is for the UK marketing, they're like, why is the Country Music Awards against Microsoft buying Activision?
Mm-hmm.
Reba McEntire is not happy. There's currently no other updates except that Chili put in our chat, Google and Nvidia are trying to block it now, supposedly. The arguments are silly, and Quinton would probably agree. Google saying that Microsoft's what's it called, Game Pass helped ruin Stadia, and I'm saying this as somebody who knows who.
That is true. It did help ruin Stadia.
But
pretty much everything helped ruin Stadia. Just even Google releasing it helped ruin Stadia.
Even Google just give it here it is, and then walked away from it. And it's and everybody's like, that it? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yep.
I think there are some very valid antitrust case, and it'll be really interesting to see what the EU comes out on that, because that's really going to be what decides this whole case, I think.
Yeah.
If the EU is against it, they're gonna have to go back and fix it for the EU.
Mm-hmm.
If the EU allows it, that'll probably push the FCC or the FTC to
FTC
also approve it.
Yeah.
So
I know that Microsoft is saying and has said on record multiple times, they're like, listen, we're not going to take Call of Duty off any platform because they'd be stupid to. Like, you know how much money that generates for them? Like, why would they? They're was it Game on Brad was like showed up for that episode and said it's like they're Microsoft sits solely behind Tencent, Sony, which is in second place, Nintendo, which is in third place. Microsoft is in fourth place. Like, even if they acquire Activision, that maybe bumps them up to third place and pushes Nintendo behind them. Maybe. Like, Nintendo had the top selling console for years until Sony came out with the PS5. So, like, Microsoft really doesn't have a whole lot. Like, they really, like, all they have is Game Pass, and that generates them a lot of money, and the concept behind Game Pass is a good idea, but their first party title, like Halo Infinite, is trash. Like, it's fun to play, but it's trash. Like, they haven't released any first party games really. They're banking on Redfall, which is potentially could be good, could be bad.
I mean,
like that's a new IP.
I have Bethesda now. That's all first party now.
That is, but you're still banking. Like, their two biggest releases here are Redfall, which is you don't know how that's going to go. It could go great developer, but you don't like the concept of like 4-player. Think Far Cry open world. Like, people are like, oh, no. And then you have not Stellaris, but space Skyrim that's coming that even people there are like, no. Like,
but I mean, like, they can also do new things with Fallout. They can do new things with Elder Scrolls 6 eventually may come out.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like how long it takes them forever to make a Fallout, to make a, like, Elder Scrolls has been the work since Skyrim, essentially.
True, but with Microsoft resources, or probably more likely Microsoft corporate being like, hey, you guys need to release stuff, those timelines may get a little
well, I know that they're hands
accelerated.
off. Like, I think the money helps, right? Ultimately, it's gonna be the money that helps them, not this needs to get released now. So there's a new Elder Scrolls DLC for Skyrim supposedly on the way. Why? What are they releasing for Skyrim at this point? It was like, here's horse armor. You guys want to buy this? We did this once, remember? Thank you, Jelly. Starfield.
Yeah.
Starfield's gonna show off its whole engine and gameplay later in its own event, separate from the creators.
I got Elder Scrolls stuff. We have ESO stuff probably coming this year.
ESO, January 25th, the new ESO, the new expansion announcement, or at least the trailer for the new.
It'll probably be mid-year launch,
late this year, or mid or late this year. So, if anything, if it were me, I think not a sequel. I don't think ESO 2 needs to come out, but I think they should revamp.
Not yet.
I think Microsoft should maybe not this expansion. It's probably too short a notice from the sale when they sold it. It went through, but I think Microsoft should look at pumping money into upgrading the engine and upgrading that game a little, because it's doesn't look bad. I don't think
it's
it looks
not terrible. No, I think it looks in line with a Elder Scrolls game.
It does, but it could look better. It could look good again.
Not necessarily with the resource constraints.
No.
Right? Like, even Elder Scrolls looks pretty good. It looks a lot better in 4K with mods and whatnot, but most computers can't handle that.
No.
So they have to still work on the lowest denominator, and I don't know if they can get much more out of what they have.
No. Probably not.
I think they're still a ways off before they really need to do an engine update in that game.
Elder Scrolls 2. Elder Scrolls Online 2. The Wreck. Skyrim 2.
Elder Scrolls Online 2.
Skyrim. It might sell. It might sell well. So, and right now there's no, other than Final Fantasy 14, like, there's no big MMOs that are coming out as far as I'm aware this year. Like, well, there are MMOs that people are excited for. Like, I know is it Blood and Throne and Blood or whatever. It's from the makers of Arcade.
Mhm.
That's coming out later this year. Um, and there was supposed to be one other one that's supposed to be coming out, but I think they postponed it. So right now,
Probably this
Pantheon,
year.
Blue Protocol. Oh yeah, Blue. That's right. Chili's right. Blue Protocol, the anime, uh, MMO.
All right, so we're gonna dive into that one.
uh, it's hard anime though. It's
So we're
it's
gonna try diving into that one just for
it's
fun.
it's full, husbandos and waifus. So if you like husbandos and waifus, Blue Protocol. Um, and then
Genshin Impact.
Pantheon, yeah, Genshin, essentially. And Pantheon Online is doing monthly. Now they're at the point where they're doing monthly not early access, but
Alphas.
alpha, pre-alpha tests.
Yeah.
So
Oh, pre-alphas now.
pre-alpha. Oddly enough, I found out that the developer who came on board and created their online system, like
Mhm.
they're selling that off, and the way it works is pretty impressive. It's like, oh yeah, I can have like 1,000 people in a zone, and it handles it well.
Hmm.
And they're like, how much is it? He's like, expensive, but it works. And I was like, oh, their network stack. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Their network stack is actually very impressive. So, so I'm excited to see what's happening with Pantheon, and as they do show off more of that, and they have I want to make sure I get his first name. Chris, I think it's Chris Clover. Make sure Chris Clover from who with Brad McQuaid, Steve Clover, I'm sorry. Steve Clover, who co-created EverQuest with Brad McQuaid, joined Pantheon at the end of last year. Yeah, so Steve Clover is now working on Pantheon. So and that may not mean a whole lot to a lot of you, but he is much like
It's a
Brad.
very interesting move.
It is a very interesting move, but a lot of people were excited about that because Steve went silent. Like after I think right before EverQuest 2 launch, or like right after EverQuest 2 launch, Steve went like he left Sony at the time, Sony Online Entertainment. So
Rip.
and yeah, rip. So he left, and he's not done anything since. Like he's been MIA. So and he's come out of not retirement. I'm not sure what he's done. I don't know where he went. Like he didn't have social media. He just didn't. Dude just went like, I don't know. He was like went out to the wood. Like as far in my head, he just walked into the woods and just came out like years later. Like, where am I?
Honestly, I can understand it.
Yeah, I get it. But Steve, besides Brad, those are the two like godfathers of the MMO, like the 3D like person MMO genre. A lot of credits given to Brad McQuaid, but believe it or not, Steve and Brad worked together this is some dorky history. Steve and Brad both worked at a plant at a nursery on their IT department, which it wasn't needed really, but they used it to do the inventory system for this large nursery. And they were making games in their part-time, and that's how Smedley found them. Because he got a copy of one of their like dungeon game, and then
So they had a company at that point, though.
They had a small their company
Barrel
was like like their company.
Was it Barrel?
Yeah, yeah. And Smedley played their game and was like, "This is great, and I want to take it online," and thus, the charming world of EverQuest came to be.
And Forever Quest.
Forever Quest, yeah. So I still interested. I still think that they're blending the world of like still needing help and not needing help, and like what does that look like, and trying to build someone. To me, it's the fact that their game director is a big fan of Legend of Zelda and Metroid, and likes the idea of like, oh, what happens when you level up and go back to a zone that's level 1 and couldn't find all the things that we hid there, and now that you can go get those things, what does that look like? And that interests me because
hopefully they're not a fan of Metroid's release cadence.
No.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Nintendo.
So I know we're probably wrapping up now, but there was one important question that we had yesterday while we were doing our raid series with the Alliance raid. You brought up something that you really wanted to discuss on the podcast today.
Oh, yeah. So next to me, it's right next to me. It's right here in my room. So
I almost forgot about this whole thing.
I didn't. Well, I almost did. Yeah. So Susan, lovely, beautiful Susan, did me a solid when I was trying to install my fans and ran off to find me alcohol that was higher than 90%, so I can clean my components and she was
not for drinking. Do not drink alcohol that's 90%.
No. She went to Target. I said, hey, go by the electronics section because they might have like wipes and stuff like that for electronics. And she did find wipes. And Quinton, you're gonna love this. This is the best. So it's got everything on the front of this, and I don't know if she bought this as a joke or just because it is electronic wipes. I think she just bought this because it said electronic wipes on it. But these are
from Staples.
These are from Staples. Okay, this is from Staples. This is even better if it's from Staples. It's from Dust Off. It's gaming gear wipes. There's 80.
Oh no, she got it because they're for gamers. So, yep.
It says maximum performance.
So it costs twice as much too, right?
It's got the 90s, the most 90s BS gaming gears wipes ever on the front.
Did you check the best before date? Because it might be 99.
Can I read you the side of this, please?
Go for it.
Maximize your performance. You spend a lot of time at your PC or console. Use Dust Off gaming gear wipes to keep your screen, keyboard, and console clean. Keep fingerprints and smudges at bay. Leave surfaces static free. Great for your CPUs, consoles, and controllers. Also wipe away game gunk from your keyboard.
PSA, if your keyboard has game gunk on it, it's gone too long between cleaning.
From your keyboard, mouse, and mouse pad. Maintaining clean equipment is a paramount to your success as you compete and keep you focused on winning. Remove freshness seal located at the end of the first wipe. Thread wipe through the opening lid. Pull out, remove wipe screen until dry. Do not flush in toilet. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well done.
It is like the most 90s bottle I've ever seen. It's like
gamer wipes.
It really looks like this is like tell me this doesn't look like it would be in like Game Pro magazine or something.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah.
Like
actually no, it probably would be black. Right, the whole bottle would be black.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. No. Well, I mean, white.
And like
white
Chili said, it would have more RGB. You'd have more lights.
Well. No, well,
not like actual lights, but like
this is not. But yeah. But this is like someone at Dust Off is like in their late 50s and remembers gaming, and this is what they thought of. Like this is what. Like they're like, oh yeah, I remember playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like,
honestly, their biggest mistake is they didn't make the logo, the text on it, edgy enough. It needs more sharp lines.
It's about as edgy for Dust Off. Does Dust Off have like a fun Twitter?
You know, their target audience is like the old like parents that don't know anything about it, but they know that their children play games, and therefore that's why.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All these gamer wipes.
Yeah.
It says it'll maximize your performance.
Yeah, guy. My mom wants me to clean my gamer gunk off my keyboard.
Again, if there's gamer gunk in any of your equipment, buy new equipment or do a very deep cleaning on it. That should not happen.
Show title gamer gunk, please.
Oh no. Like last year, my keyboard had a little bit of stuff on it, so I'm like, okay, pulled out all of the keycaps, wiped all the insides out, physically washed all the keycaps overnight. Doesn't take long.
It does not.
It takes well from the draw.
I know. I actually need to pull off all of my keycaps and clean up my keyboard, actually. So
also helps when you have a smaller keyboard.
Yeah, well, I don't. Gamer Gunk. Although my caps, I do have the new, I do have a newer Corsair, so the caps on it are completely sealed. So I just have to pull them off and just wipe down everything and put them on. So, well, we learned a lot, and we promised.
Some of it we wish we didn't.
2023, new Maelstrom Radio, new us, new you, new year. Big money, big women,
No whammies.
big fun. Maelstrom Radio 2020. Susan, show title, please. Big money, big women, big fun.
And on that note, the next live stream will be on Sunday, January 15th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. East, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, and 5:30 p.m. UTC or GMT. We will be posting our schedule up again soon. Thank you, Susan. The next podcast will likely be in a couple weeks, but we don't have a specific date or time specified yet. Keep an eye on our social media. Hang out in our Discord. I promise we don't bite generally. So yeah, but that's about it. I don't have anything else.
Me either. So
okay.
Well, we did it. The first episode's in the can.
Yeah.
We did it. I hope you all liked it. Smoochy. As always. Till C swallows all your gamer gunk. Keep listening.